Have you ever wondered how a single language can completely change a person's life? Today, I want to share an incredible story, a story about dreams, struggle, courage, and the power of learning English. If you dream of becoming a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, a successful entrepreneur, or anything great in life, there is one skill that can open doors around the world. English. More than 1.5 billion people speak English across the globe. It has become the language of international travel, global business, science, and the internet. Without English, many opportunities remain hidden. Better jobs, international friendships, education abroad, books, movies, and knowledge in their original form. But here is the good news. Anyone can start learning today. Anyone can change their future. And the story you are about to hear proves exactly that. My name is Sophia. I grew up in Brazil, in a small, quiet town where life was simple. My family was not rich, but we were not poor either. We were what many people call a modest, middle-class family. My father worked long hours as a taxi driver. Every day he navigated crowded streets for many hours. My mother was a school teacher, patient, kind, hard working. They never gave me luxury, but they gave me something far more valuable. They gave me belief in education. From the time I was very young, they repeated the same sentence. Study hard. Education will open every door. And deep inside my heart, I had only one dream. I wanted to become a doctor. I still remember the exact moment that dream was born. I was 10 years old. One evening, my little brother became very sick. His fever was extremely high. My parents were frightened. We rushed him to the hospital. I remember the smell of medicine in the air, the bright lights, the sound of machines beeping softly. My parents looked worried. My mother was crying. Then a doctor walked into the room. He was calm, confident, kind. He smiled gently and said, "Don't worry, I will take care of him." I watched carefully as he examined my brother. He checked his temperature. He listened to his breathing. He spoke with quiet authority. After some time, he gave the correct treatment. A few hours later, the fever was gone. My brother was safe. At that exact moment, something powerful happened inside me. I thought to myself, someday I will become a doctor too. But as I grew older, I discovered a serious problem, a problem that felt almost impossible. If you want to study medicine, you must know English. Almost every medical textbook is written in English. Most scientific research is published in English. Even doctors in my country needed English to study modern medicine. And my English? It was terrible. I studied in a public school, where English classes were very basic, and I knew simple phrases like, "Hello, how are you?" But when I saw a full paragraph in English, it felt like a puzzle I could not solve. One day in school, my English teacher called my name. "Sophia, can you read this sentence?" I looked at the page. The letters seemed to move in front of my eyes. My heart started beating fast. I could not understand anything. I don't know," I whispered. Some students laughed. That moment felt painful. I came home that day, went straight to my room, and just sat there, thinking, how could I become a doctor if I could not even read a simple English sentence? For the first time, my dream felt far away. But then something unexpected happened. One evening, my father came home after a long day, driving his taxi. He noticed. I looked sad. "Sophia," he said softly, "what is bothering you?" I told him everything. "Papa, I want to be a doctor, but my English is terrible." He listened quietly. Then he said something that surprised me. "If English is the obstacle, then you must go where people speak English every day." I stared at him. "But Papa, that costs money." He smiled. "We don't have a lot," he said. "But your dream is worth everything." That night, our family had a serious conversation. We discussed many countries: the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, but finally, we chose Canada. There were several reasons. First, English is widely spoken. Second, Canada has an excellent education system. Third, the country is known for being welcoming to international students. Still, it was not easy. My parents used almost all their savings to support my journey. Before I left Brazil, my mother held my hands. She said, "We are giving you everything we have. Promise me, you will never give up." Tears filled my eyes. "I promise," I said. And with one suitcase, a small amount of money, and a giant dream, I boarded a plane to Canada. When I arrived in Toronto, everything felt unfamiliar. The weather shocked me. Brazil is warm. Toronto was freezing. My hands felt like ice. The food was different too. I missed the taste of my mother's cooking rice. Beans. Homemade meals. But the biggest challenge was something else. English. At the airport, someone asked me, "Do you need a taxi?" I panicked. I did not understand. I simply smiled and nodded. That night, alone in my small room, I cried. "What am I doing here?" I thought. "I don't understand anyone." But the next morning, I went to my English school. During introductions, the teacher asked each student to speak. When my turn came, my hands trembled. "My name, Sophia. From Brazil." I wanted to say more, but the words disappeared. Some students laughed quietly. That night, I made a powerful decision. No matter how hard this journey becomes, I will learn English. I created a daily plan. First, I started talking to myself in English while walking outside. I wore headphones. People thought I was on the phone, but actually, I was practicing sentences. I am walking down the street. The sky looks beautiful today. This cafe smells good. Second, I learned 3 new words every day. Third, I stopped using subtitles when watching English videos. At first, it was difficult. But slowly, my ears adapted. Then one day, something amazing happened. I walked into a coffee shop. My heart was pounding, but I forced myself to speak. "I would like a cappuccino, please." The barista smiled. "Regular milk or almond milk?" I understood. "Regular milk, please." That tiny conversation felt like a huge victory. Months passed. My English improved little by little. After 4 months, something incredible happened. A cashier asked me, "Do you need a bag?" And without thinking, I answered immediately, "No thanks." I brought one. For the first time, I was not translating in my head. I was thinking directly in English. That moment changed everything. Confidence replaced fear. 6 months later, I took the IELTS exam. The test was difficult. Long reading passages, complex writing tasks, speaking interviews. But I studied every day. When the results arrived, I passed. I cried with happiness. Soon after, I was accepted into a medical university in Canada. Medical school was incredibly challenging. The textbooks were complicated. Professors spoke quickly, but I used every strategy I had learned. Recording lectures, making flashcards, studying with classmates. Years later, I finally walked across the graduation stage. The announcer said, "Dr. Sophia Williams." At that moment, I looked up and whispered, "Thank you, Mom and Dad." Today, I work as a doctor in a hospital in Toronto. But the most meaningful moments are not the salary or the success. They are the moments when a patient looks at me and says, "Thank you, doctor." That is when I realize the journey was worth it. And now, I want to tell you something important. Nobody will change your life for you. Not your parents, not your teachers, not your friends. Only you can decide your future. If you want a better career, learn English. Practice every day. Make mistakes speak, even when you feel embarrassed. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. Right now, you have two choices. You can close this video and continue life exactly the same, or you can start today, start learning, start improving, start building the future you dream about. Because when you finally achieve your goals, the feeling is unforgettable. And one day, you might look back and realize, learning English changed everything. Now the question is simple. What will you do next?